All right, good morning. It's Bill Hurrelbrink coming to you from the newsroom here at KCTV5. Wanted to bring you an update on some of the roads and some of the conditions outside here right now as we're going through yet another winter weather event here in Kansas City. Wanted to start in the Pleasant Valley area where the scout camera just was on and just died on us here. But we've got a lot of slow traffic moving out of Liberty here this morning along portions of I-35 extending from, we'll even call it Kearney or Holt, Missouri, all the way down to Clay Como. Got our scout camera back. I want to show you what they're working on right here. They're trying to pull this trash truck out of the northbound lanes of I-35 here at Pleasant Valley Road, or you can see a lot of the traffic stuck now on the highway with, obviously they have that trash truck blocking the entire road right now as they're pulling it out of the ditch. This is traffic that's moving on from Pleasant Valley Road there, 69 highway, and it's trying to jump onto I-35 here in the distance, and it's just extremely slow as you make your way up towards 152 highway in Liberty. We can kind of take you up to that area with our traffic flow maps here up north of town, and that kind of gives you an idea just how slow this is in both directions. They do have the highway all the way back opened up again, but look at this, from Kearney, Missouri through Liberty, both directions, all the way down to Clay Como, just extremely stop-and-go traffic or even very slow traffic. I don't think anything is closed there in I-35 anymore, but it is just very, very slow as traffic struggling to get by it. Here is the one interstate that is still closed here this morning. It's going to be northbound I-29 at the Main Street exit there at Platte City. The good news, the heavy wrecker is on scene, and we've got that jackknife semi pulled out of there. There was a jackknife trailer that was completely stretched across all lanes of northbound I-29 here. Luckily, again, that seems to be picked up, and hopefully this is on their way to getting fixed and getting taken out of there because that was causing a lot of headaches for drivers. Now, southbound I-29 has been open the entire time, and it's actually looking pretty good. You can just see a small, thin layer of snow in between this. But a lot of the reports that we've been receiving from you at home are a lot of our neighborhood streets here are very icy and untreated. Again, the DOTs and the cities couldn't put any treatment down on the roads in advance of this because if you remember, it was raining all day yesterday. So that treatment would have just been washed away. It wouldn't have been doing any good. They've been throwing it out there for nothing. So unfortunately, this was really like an untreatable, at least pre-treatment event. They had to wait till the snow started falling, and then they got out with some of that ice melt and some of that salt to try to keep the highways a little bit more just wet rather than freezing up. Now, a lot of that treatment didn't get put on maybe some of the side roads. We were hearing a lot of some of the side roads, neighborhood streets, maybe secondary and tertiary routes around portions of town that could still have a thin layer of ice underneath it, along with maybe a half inch to an inch and a half or two of snowfall from overnight. You also got to remember the heavy winds that are out there, and I think that could be one issue that's been running into our truck drivers is just those super strong wind gusts. In Jarblo, Kansas, they recorded a wind gust at 70 miles per hour. So we're talking highway speed wind gusts out there working this morning and causing a lot of issues for a lot of folks out there traveling. Again, the biggest issues that we've seen so far are north of the river, primarily along I-35 between Kearney, Missouri, on down to Clay Como, and then on I-29 from about the Camden Point exit down to Platte City. And again, all lanes of northbound I-29 continue to be closed at that Main Street exit because of this jackknife semi, which again, luckily is not jackknifed anymore. The heavy wrecker was able to get in there, kind of get that guy turned back around, and I think this one's going to be cleared shortly, and then hopefully they'll be able to reopen lanes of northbound I-29. And those winds are no joke. I'm going to have Melissa Meeder come up and talk about it here in a little bit, but these are your current wind gusts around Kansas City. 52 miles an hour out west in Lawrence, 45 in Olathe. We're seeing wind gusts near 46 miles an hour on the east side of town in Marshall, Missouri. And these are going to be strong all day. These aren't going to die off until probably after supper time tonight. So expect some strong wind gusts out of the north-northwest as we go through the remainder of the day today. And they could even affect you on your drive home tonight as well. So I know a lot of school districts went on a 2-hour delay for today, and I think that's probably a good idea to hopefully let some folks get out there, start treating the roads a little bit better, and then they can get to school a little bit safer. So, I mean, if your kid had an 8 o'clock start this morning, probably not starting school here for another little bit over an hour from right now, so a 10 o'clock start for some of those. And there were even some districts that canceled altogether still too. So we can go to kctv5.com/closings, and we have all of those listed for you there. You can also see them scrolling at the bottom of your screen if you're watching KCTV5. But just a handful of these late openings today. The 16th Judicial Court of Jackson County is going to be opening late today. The Academy Montessori International, the KCMO, is opening late today. Baser Linwood is on a 2-hour delay. Shout out to my Bobcats out there. Bonner Springs on a 2-hour delay. Looks like Donnelly College and KCK opening a couple hours late, as is Easton Kansas School. They're delayed 2 hours. Let's see. Hope Lutheran School is opening on a delay, as is KCKCC. Virtual learning for Kearney R1 schools. But then you can see also a lot of schools closed as well, including Lee Summit Academy. The Lee Summit Meals on Wheels closed for today. Liberty Schools, 53 Liberty, closed today, opening late. Liberty United Methodist up there, so a lot of folks in Liberty affected by this as well. We got the Oric schools closed. Overland Christian School closed today. And then again, if you want to go look there, you can go to kctv5.com/closings, and that'll get you up to date on the latest happenings around there. Also, let's go ahead and give you a look at maybe some of the other roads here around town. We had a handful of problem spots out there today because of the high winds and the snowfall. 150 at I-49 was closed for a stretch. It's back open this morning. Let's see what crashes we have around here. Look at this. We've got at least 4, 5, 6 incidents here in the K10 435 interchange, and that's running pretty slow. Here you go. Get a look at that. So we got the camera facing off to the west here. That's the eastbound run of K10 moving towards the camera right now, and it's pretty slow coming off of K10 there here this morning. And look how much that wind is whipping around the camera, just indicative of how strong that wind is out there right now. Melissa was reporting, again, a stronger wind gust earlier on overnight in Jarblow, Kansas, at about 70 miles an hour. Currently, things have died down a little bit, but still out on the west side of town, recording a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust out there, and also seeing things as strong as 40, 30 miles an hour wind gusts currently as well across town. I clicked the wrong button, or else I was going to show you that. Sorry about that. Anyway, looks like they've closed northbound I-35 again here now for a stretch just to the south of Liberty this time. If you remember, we had several crashes up on that stretch here just moments ago. Let's get back up there real fast and see where they got it closed at. Well, that doesn't show closed there. There it is. Yep, looks like there's another something happened here north of Pleasant Valley Road. Let's see if they got the camera at 152 turned south. Maybe we can get a better idea of what's going on. They do have it turned south, but it's just tough to tell. Whatever that crash is, it's going to happen in between those two cameras. And I think it may be a lot to do with, we've had a handful of slide-offs here. They may be having to partially or temporarily close the interstate down to tow those folks out of the median of the highway. But you can just see just folks just jammed up here on the highway as they're waiting to see if they can go in further northbound on northbound I-35. Again, this is I-35 Pleasant Valley Road. Here we go. We got to move in the camera for us now, so maybe we can get an idea of what's actually got the highway closed here down the road. Is Independence closed or delayed? I'm not sure. If you go to kctv5.com/closings, Justin, it'll be listed there and you can see it. Yeah, there we go. Looks like there is a car straddling the ditch, or a truck straddling the ditch down there northbound on I-35 just past the Pleasant Valley Road exit before you get up to 152 in Topeka. You see him right there. Not a good position to find yourself in here on a Wednesday morning, but unfortunately that driver did, and a handful of other drivers had those slide-off crashes as well this morning. So that is this incident right here that is just south of 152 Highway on northbound I-35 there in the south part of Liberty, Missouri. Let's see what they're kind of zooming in on now here. Moving the camera around, see if they're going to find something else for us. Looks like it's okay there, but yeah, a lot of problem spots in that I-35 run, essentially between Clay Como up to Kearney, Missouri. So really want you to be careful along those stretches. It's so crazy how stark the difference is between some areas of town, because that's what I-35 on the Missouri side looked like. Look at I-70 here on the Kansas side. It just looks like a normal day in the park. You know, it looks like east and westbound I-70 are moving just about at highway speeds here, just to the east of the Turner Diagonal and 78th Street in KCK. So looking like it's pretty good shape there. Let's go downtown. I I saw some pretty decent slowdowns earlier here near this 19th Street exit and or the 19th Street camera and the 22nd Street exit there that takes you to the hospitals. And it looks like it's moving okay there, so that's good news for drivers coming in up off the Broussard Watkins. That's I-70 and the Benton curve, and it's looking pretty good as well. Oops, that camera didn't want to load for us, did it? So, well, let's go back to our traffic maps real fast. We'll see if it's showing any other big slowdowns that we can let you know about before we jump off here and my KC Live takes over here in just a few moments. Let's jump around town here real quick. So, yeah, that I-35 run, it's just still crazy busy between Liberty on down to Clay Como. If you are planning on jumping out there and using that I-35 run here in the next 20, 30 minutes, I'd go ahead and just sit back down and hold your horses for a little bit, because that looks like it's going to be pretty slow for the next few hours. Northbound I-29, it's hard to see here. It's still closed in Platte City. There's a jackknife semi. It is loaded up on the back of a heavy wrecker right now, so hopefully that's going to be out of there before too long. But you can just see how slow the traffic flow is there as we continue up northbound I-29, up into the Camden Point, the Dearborn area of Platte County there, just running real slow, essentially all the way up to St. Joe. And I think that's what you're going to find, especially as you get north of the city, especially kind of along that 36 highway corridor and south down to the 435 loop. Everything pretty much running slow there. Once you get south of I-70, it's looking remarkably better, save for this one little problem spot through areas of Grandview. It's going to be a little bit slow there going up towards the Main Street exit. I don't have any crashes reported down there, I think, at the moment. Yeah, it looks like everything has pretty much wrapped itself up there, but we're still seeing some slowdowns as people continue to try to move north and south. Like, again, this is traffic stacked up on that ramp from southbound I-49 to 150 highway. This was completely closed down here earlier this morning, about 3 or 4 hours ago. It has reopened now, though, so better news for folks who are heading south of town or coming into town from areas south along I-49. Grandview and Belton, AR, that's what we're working on right now. You can see I-49 is really stacked up there in Grandview on down to 58 Highway in Belton and Raymore. Once you get through that stretch, though, it looks like it's back up on the gas down through Peculiar and Harrisonville, so better luck there. If you're asking about closures, there are a lot of them that came through right about 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning. You can see all those by going to kctv5.com/closings. They'll all be listed there. I believe they're on the front page. You don't even have to go to the slash page. You can just go to kctv5.com, and they should be listed there, or you can also go on over to KCTV5 on your TV, and we should have them scrolling at the bottom of your screen. All right, got to go in and do a cut-in here in just a few minutes, but that's going to wrap it up for us here at our additional winter weather coverage on our streaming platforms on kctv5.com, but also on YouTube and Facebook. I want to thank you for joining us here this morning, and just be safe out there. I mean, that's still going to be some very howling winds today. You're still going to feel it pushing on your steering wheel. It's going to tug on your steering wheel, especially if you're driving a higher profile vehicle like a van or a box truck or something. You're really going to feel that tugging at the wheel. Even if you're just in a small sedan, this type of wind gust in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range can still really have an effect on your car, especially at highway speed. So just really want you to be careful as you're getting out and about and going. And we know here in about the next hour, people are going to be leaving home to take their kids to school who maybe were on those 2-hour delays. So be careful then. Make sure you have plenty of jackets and hats and gloves ready to go just in case you do get stuck. The good news, warmer weather is on the way. Melissa is forecasting 60s by the weekend, 70s by the beginning of next week. So spring and summer are going to be here before you know it, despite it looking like that currently outside right now. So again, thanks for joining us here on our live stream. Morning anchor Bill Hurrelbrink. I'll see you back here again on KCTV5 News at noon. Have a safe and hopefully warmer rest of your Wednesday morning. Take care.